building my dream PC from 2014. Yeah, I know, it's a decade late, but I think it was actually worth the wait. Sometimes dreams don't come true right away. Life gets in the way, money, time, priorities, but every now and then, a dream sits quietly in the back of your mind, waiting for the right moment. That's exactly what happened with my dream PC from 2014. Back then, I was obsessed with tech. I used to browse forums, watch unboxings, and imagine the ultimate build I'd one day put together. I knew exactly what I wanted: power, performance, and just enough style to make it feel like mine. But for one reason or another, that dream stayed just that: a dream. Fast forward to now, over 10 years later, and I finally did it. I built a PC I used to dream about. Not the latest generation, not cutting edge by today's standards at least, but exactly what I would have drooled over in 2014. This build is like a love letter to my younger self. At its heart is the Intel Core i7-4070-90K. Back in the day, it was the king of gaming CPUs, nicknamed Devil's Canyon for a reason. 4 cores, 8 threads, and an overclocking reputation that made enthusiasts smile. It still handles basic tasks with grace, and knowing what it represented in its prime makes it all the more special. GPU, an EVGA GTX 980 superclocked. In 2014, this card was a top-tier monster for 1080p gaming and even capable at 1440p. I remember seeing benchmarks and thinking one day, well, that day came. 10 years later, but no less satisfying. Firing up older games with max settings feels like unlocking a time capsule of joy. Of course, I didn't want it to look outdated, so I gave it a modern touch. To make it feel like it belonged in 2025, I installed a large dual-fan RGB cooler on the CPU. The RGB lighting gives it vibrant and futuristic look that matches today's builds, and the cooling performance is excellent even under stress. The build sits on an Asus Z87 Deluxe motherboard, a high-end board even by today's mid-range standards. It supports SLI and Crossfire configurations, has solid power delivery for overclocking, built-in Wi-Fi, and plenty of USB and SATA ports. Back in 2014, this was a serious enthusiast board, and it still holds up in many ways. Powering all of this is a Corsair AX760, a fully modular gold certified 760 watts power supply. It's not only more than enough for this build, but it also leaves headroom for future upgrades, even for more power hungry GPUs. Silent, stable, and efficient is one of those components that simply aged like fine wine. I paired the system with 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM, more than enough for anything I'd have done a decade ago, and the whole setup lives inside the black NZXT Phantom 410 case. That case was iconic to me: bold design, great airflow, and a sleek, aggressive look that still holds up till this day. This isn't just a computer, it's a personal milestone, a reminder that sometimes it's okay for dreams to take time. While most people today are building with DDR5 and RTX 4000 series GPUs, I built something different: a time machine, a tribute, a dream fulfilled, late but real. But how does it compare against today's modern machines? Objectively, this build can't compete with modern machines. A current gen PC with something like an i7-4700K, 30 gigs of DDR5, and an RTX 4080 would blow mine out of the water in every benchmark: frame rates, load times, ray tracing, and more. In 2014, my build was that high-end beast. It represented the best of what I couldn't have then but can now, and that makes it just as satisfying today as any modern rig, because in the end, performance numbers come and go, but the feeling of finally bringing your old dream to life, that sticks with you. In the end, if you ask me, was all of this worth it, the money and time, I'd say yes, and also yes. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and I hope you enjoyed the video.